Welcome to the Blink-182 last highlight video. It's been a long journey to get to here, even though it kind of started, ended, started back. We're here at the end. And this is going to be a compilation of some of the cool things that have happened in the last year. And this won't be like everything that's happened, but it's some highlights and some important moments. So this is what I'll be showing you, and I hope you enjoy it. Shortly after I made those videos you saw, it was already probably around March or so, and it had been a while since I had come back into making any kind of Blink-182 content, so I was like, well, I should have a comeback video. And so for that, I thought about making this cool series called Relax, where it was kind of about me and my struggles to make this content and to stick with this thing because of this chronic kind of both procrastination and just desire to not do it at different points. And I think this series really would have been something cool. You might have seen a picture on my Instagram if you follow that, or something like that, and it was going to be about this hat that was kind of possessed by this spirit that would take control of me at different points when I was wearing it. And it was a very interesting concept. I might include some clips here just for you to see what I was potentially doing. I made like 1.5 episodes of it, but I never came back, so it wasn't something that would get reported. So moving on to number 2. So we had my Fraternity Formal in April at some point, and as a part of that, we just kind of went with a large group down to Michigan City. You bring a date, you're with all your friends, and it's just a really cool time. I went to the beach a ton there. I was really the only senior that was there, because this is kind of a send-off period, because it's like at the end of the school year usually, and being the only person graduating there, it was kind of cool to have that send-off experience. It was very personal and very touching for a lot of the moments, and definitely a super cool experience and a lot of memories made on that trip. Moving on to when I got back from that trip, there was the senior bar crawl, which was basically just a bunch of people that were all going to be graduating, and apparently some that even weren't, but just wanted to go out anyway all day. It was a whole day of going across the university with just a list of bars that you wanted to hit, and you had these shirts that you could buy at various places, and you just kind of drink all day. You draw cool things on the shirts and write down people's names and draw things on yourself. It was a cool experience. I really just was overall excited to, actually be able to experience it with all that was going on with COVID. It was pouring rain, and so a lot of people had to wait outside at a lot of these places because COVID restrictions for indoors at the time in Ohio were not allowing people inside, and it was still a super cool experience though. You can see on my arm here, I just kind of marked and tallied for each drink, and we wound up around 18, which was a little intense, but over the course of like a 13-hour day, it's not too bad at all, honestly. So right after that, we just kind of moved straight into graduation. And graduation first was a bunch of pictures, had my family come down, and you got to get all the fun stuff like that. But then, being at the actual ceremony the next day, and it was again pouring rain, freezing cold, like somewhere in the low 40s, I think. And it was just kind of surreal in a way, because I was taking this last 4 years and moving it into this one experience of, wow, you made it. This is what you've been working towards. Now you begin like the rest of your life. The real world awaits. And as I shifted the tassel over and got my diploma, it was intense. And it was emotional. So, I'm graduated. I have around 2 months until my job starts. What should I do? What I decided to do was go on a bunch of trips. Seems fair. So I started off with going to Santa Barbara to visit my friend who's getting his PhD in chemical engineering. He's an awesome dude. His name's Matt. We hung out there and I got to try surfing for the first time and actually had mild success at the beginning. Also some cool hiking stuff. I hadn't really been like on many hikes before either, honestly, and yeah, just gotten to see some stuff in Santa Barbara. We took a trip down to Los Angeles and Hollywood. Definitely a super cool experience to be around all that stuff. Then I took a trip up to Seattle, straight from Santa Barbara, to visit my roommate from college, and he was back home after school had ended. He had another year of school though, but I visited him and got to see a bunch of cool stuff in Seattle. You know, I got to see a Mariners game. I got to see the Space Needle, some other differently cool stuff, and I tried wasabi for the first time, which I insert the clip here. It's intense. So, get back from Seattle. Time to start some real world stuff. To start off, get a car. That's my car. Love it to death. And then it's time for more partying. I had one of my friends coming down. His name's Ken, awesome dude, and he was having his birthday party in Chicago for the entire weekend. And we basically just had a bunch of different bars for like 2.5 days straight. A lot of money spent, my God, because people just kept wanting bottle service, and so we did. First time trying that. First time really going out in Chicago, period, even though I'm from roughly there. I'd always been at school when I was like 21 plus, and I really had the opportunity with COVID after that, and yeah. So that was a super cool experience. And moving on from there, it's time to move into my new home. July had come, and it was time to move into an apartment, and well, this is the super cool beach that's near me. I'll tag in some footage of my apartment you can see my apartment. It's kind of been in the background here for a bit, but you'll see some more in the Halloween footage coming up. Shortly after I moved in, I went on a trip to a lake house, and I had never actually been to a lake house before. I had never been on a boat before. A lot of new things coming into this whole summer, honestly, and especially with the water, between surfing and just going on you get the picture. But I went to a lake house, got on a boat, had a good time there for a few different weekends actually, but during that time I went wakeboarding for the first time, and what you're about to see are some clips of me wakeboarding. However, they are not the first time that I tried wakeboarding because I didn't film that, but this is me actually getting up for the first time on my second time wakeboarding. So this is a different trip, but same lake house, same everything. And it went really well actually. I'm proud of how that went, I guess. I don't know. It was a very cool experience to be able to get up like that and continuously do it, and yeah, super fun experience. I also went tubing while there for the first time, at least water tubing instead of snow tubing, and that was very intense. I'll put in some footage of other people tubing because I didn't actually get any footage of me doing that. However, I did do some intense stunts involving like jumping to other the other person's tube, successfully landing, might I add, and then just some other cool stuff going on. Very cool thing. Never really been out to an environment like that before, and yeah. Then I skip a bit of time, but we move into me in August, late August, so I started work already by this point, but it was, I believe, Labor Day weekend, and I was like, well, let me go visit my best friend down in Florida, and yeah, so you remember Chase from the Disney video? This is him again, and we just kind of hung out. We went to, I got to go to Universal for the first time, and I saw the Harry Potter world, which was awesome, never been there. Definitely was something that I'd always wanted to see, and yeah, it was just great seeing him too. Hadn't seen him in a while. Went to Disney again after that. Definitely a bunch of cool stuff. To finish out, we move into very recent stuff. I hosted a Halloween party, and that was a very cool experience because I never really hosted something quite like that before. Like, I went all out on decorations, and I mean, I put out a big invite list. A lot of people were gone that weekend, unfortunately, but definitely a super cool, I guess, little experiment with hosting something. And yeah, it was super fun. I had to wear like 3 different costumes that night because one broke and other one was too hot, so it was kind of a mess there. I had a different event that I went to the next day, had a different costume for that, and another costume for something else, and then the next weekend, that was the actual Halloween weekend, I went down to Ohio State for the football game and a few other different events that were going on that weekend, and I dressed up as Justin Fields, got heckled a lot while I was walking down the streets, but I went back to my fraternity again for to see a bunch of the people that I knew from there, and then I went to the game, and well, we won, and I got to rush the field, which I don't even remember the last time I've done that. And that brings us to here, and that brings us to the end of Blink-22. There will be a finale video coming out shortly after this. I hope you enjoy. This was the last highlight video. This is my life as I've lived it the last year, and I appreciate you tagging along for that. So, I'll see you in the last video. Peace out. Bye-bye.